Alright, so what I'm working on today is a 1994 Ford F150. This vehicle is just like a half-ton two-wheel drive. It's got the straight 6 4.9 liter motor in there. Here is the emissions information right there. Get it, maybe I can just zoom in on it there. There we go. Spark plug and the gap and the size of the motor and all that kind of business. There's the vacuum lines. It's got lots of those. And what I'm doing is a set of plugs, cap and rotor on there. I've done a compression test, and here's some of the information for it here. 13/16 socket. There's a spark plug number, VSF 44P. Spark plug torque is 20 foot-pounds. I'm going to do an oil change too. The oil change drain plug is 22 foot-pounds. And I did a compression test. The back one was low. I think that's normal on the 6 cylinders. This is a firing order. It's going to be 153624, and I've marked it on the cap like this. Okay, this is going to be number 1. So the cap kind of sits on there like this, on the motor, kind of like in that position there. But I'll show that in just a minute. Before I get to that point there, to turn the motor over, I've got this fancy dandy little doodad here. You pull the trigger and it turns it over. Let me move this so it doesn't get chopped up in the fan. We don't want to do that. But this makes it so that you can just pull the trigger and get it to turn over. Okay, so what I did is I hooked it up on the starter. Get this thing to zoom in on the starter. There it is, way down there. Get it to focus. Let's change that. There we go. So get to that red wire on the starter. Okay, well, one end goes there and the other end goes on the positive terminal of the battery. So that's how things are going there. I've got a set of wires, a set of the factory platinum plugs. Is what they look like. It takes the huge 13/16 socket and they torque down to 20 foot-pounds. I think I said that already. Let's have a look at how things go over here. I've already got the cap and rotor off. I've already put the plugs all in. This is the old cap and rotor that's on there now, and I just had it on there comparing apples for apples with the firing order, because the firing order does change from 93 to 94. I don't remember what 93 firing order is, so I'm not going to quote that. So this is kind of how things look on this particular situation. The cap and rotor are easy. You know, it's got like a 7mm nuts on there. I think these little nuts fit a 7mm, the size here, and it's got a Phillips head, so that's not that big of a deal. Just be careful when you tighten these things down. There's no crush sleeve on these. It has the cone, okay? It has the cone, and I've already put anti-seize on the threads. All right, just put a little dab on there on one part of it. This one doesn't have it on there yet, but all the other ones are already done. And I did notice that the electrode on there is crooked. Look at that. Now that's how that sucker came, just like that. And really, you know, they don't want you to mess with the platinum plugs, but I checked all mine, and the gap is right. I don't know what their story is about it being crooked. Now the ones I took out were exactly the same. It ran, you know, it ran fine. So I'm not going to mess with that. It'll be fine. The less you mess with things like this, the better. But you can tell that it's got a little warp in there. Might check the gap to make sure that it's the, I think it was 44 to 46 or 42 to 46. Yeah, something in that range. So I'm going to get this thing wrapped up. Make sure you use some type of silicone on all your boots. Okay, let's have a look at what kind of silicone I've got. Anyway, I like this silicone here. It works good. I've got this anti-seize to put on the threads. Don't put too much. Just takes a little dab. So that's about it on this little information type video here. Please subscribe and y'all have a good day. Hope this helps someone.